It took me so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. 5 days straight, no rest, oh well. I don't need no scale. I've been on my, I don't need no help. Always getting money, rains, no sleep. Every day I work my thumb. I don't get to take off. A hater get up. I'm ready like lift off. I never been nowhere, but I'm ready to stay gone. Nothing ever lasts long. I'm always beating the odds. Taking all these trips, I had to go and get a passport. I'm just trying to live. I don't know what the mad for. I just signed a deal and got a really big bag for it. Still at your mama crib and getting money, you gotta ask for it. I'm tired of complaining. I gotta bitch change my situation. Looking at the view outside, I thought I would never make it. Every day, pay, but that don't stop the money making. If you want it, go and take it. Ain't no point in hesitating. I don't wanna be on the ground.
Okay, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL leads us to a snow-covered Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, PA. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Denver Broncos and the Pittsburgh Steelers. This will be taken short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
First and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. First carry of the game here for Royce Freeman. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Stephon Tuitt came out of Notre Dame as another one of those really tall defensive ends, and you just wonder, would they be able to have the leverage to bend and make plays? I think he just gave us an answer with that tackle.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
This is taken around the 12. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
Come on, set. 60 Pittsburgh. I got it. Recon, 132 fighter. Ready?
First carry for James Conner. He's got a first down and more past the 30. He's at the 50. 30. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. James Conner. 82 yards as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken very short. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40.
At their own 39-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And partner, let me make a quick pivot here. Season winding down. They're number 32 in offense this year. The last in the league. Where do they go?
Anywhere and everywhere, but they have to do it with a plan. And I think about Atlanta a bunch of years ago. They decided they wanted to get what they thought was going to be a franchise quarterback, and indeed he is, Matt Ryan. But they had to supplement it. They went free agency, got a running back, came back and traded back into the first round in the same draft to get a left tackle to protect him. Really supplemented that pick, complemented that pick, and went to the playoffs the very next year.
Well, maybe they can use that and carbon copy it. That one, a gain of 20 and a first down.
And the Broncos first down.
Right there in the middle, 55.
You can't block me. You can't block me. Check that out.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Ricky. Undercut.
A 2nd down carry for Booker. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. This is the tight end Fant. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Well, they had a gain of 10 last time, now a gain of 20 here. On play action, they'll throw. Gets it off to Freeman. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for them.
And Freeman lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home, the next guy comes through.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Sean Davis with a pick. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. Now this defense looking like they have come to play the pick 6, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visit. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski, that's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 2nd and 6. Got an open man. It's Fumagalli. And he coughed it up. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Whenever we call a game that's in the snow, we have to focus a little bit more, trying to make sure we've got the right numbers on players that we're calling, right? The right guys in the game. Think about the guys on the field. Their focus has to really increase as well because so many things coming at you, you got to make sure that you're really locked in on taking care of the ball.
Or if you don't, you cough it up like they did right there. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. A tale of 2 extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again. And instead, it works opposite.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Give him 32 on the play.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game.
Watch twist, watch twist, watch. Greystone, travel. Hey, exit. Hit it.
Back to throw. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Whoa. He just yanked that one well to the left and no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42-yard line. Great return.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. He's got his big tight end, Fant.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Here's 2nd and 8. Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play.
A gain of 15. First down, Broncos.
This quarterback now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Freeman. Stephon Tuitt, the one that got him down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The throw taken in by Hamilton. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2. We are in for a good one as we're through 1 on EA Sports. The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. 2nd interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates are going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. That goes for a gain of 31. The big big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10.
Hey, Alpha. 22 jet bomber. 22 jet bomber.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. A run with Smallwood. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Hey, Haywood.
47's the mic, boy. 47. Check, 47. I got you. Bang, 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 bang.
Go.
They're going to look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Adam Gotsis, the Aussie, with a sack.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away.
Let's go.
At their own 14-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
Watch it.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Stephon Tuitt in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on, how about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
They'll drop to throw. Trying to lay one up deep. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well. And he's been right.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bradley Chubb doing what he does best, getting that sack. Well, it was 2nd long, now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
Let's go.
17-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
It's a party now. Jim.
On second down now, Booker. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And it's third down.
The Broncos on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Back to throw here. Oh, he may have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
This is fielded at the 27. The 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
First and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
You ready?
They'll look to throw. And yes, complete to the tight end, McDonald. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They'll look to throw here. Out of the backfield, this is Devontae Booker. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. They'll set up a throw. And he's got Booker. And he is going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Deshaun Hamilton, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
Intended for no offense. Incomplete. It's 2nd down and 10.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And there is nothing easy about being a kicker on a day like this.
Yeah, I tell you, not only is the footing tough in the snow, but kicking that ball is like kicking a rock. Very difficult to get any sort of feel on your kicks.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the 2nd half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Go! 50, plant.
I smell fear in that
Go!
offense. I smell fear in that offense. Right here, guys. Fight 51. Mike 51.
Go!
Now back to throw. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. How about 25 yards on third down? They'll take it. I love that play because in the snow you think run, run, run. Big passing play there.
And defenders hate it, especially in open space, because trying to come under control, break down, and make a tackle in the open field, difficult in normal conditions. In these conditions, almost impossible.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
First and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Ready? 60 outlaw.
You ain't got nothing.
6-6, bullet high.
On first and 10 is Connor. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
After the pickup of 5, here's second and 5.
Hey, Delta.
51's the mic. 51's the mic. Come on. You better bring it. Hey, Mike 51.
On play action, they'll throw. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. They come up now, 3rd and 5, following the incomplete pass. On third down, it's Connor. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
Chris Boswell on for the field goal of 36-yard attempt.
And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. He'll look to throw. He's got his tight end fan. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big 3rd down pickup of 20 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. On first down, Freeman. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
2nd and 9 now. That one caught by Gibson. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 40.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? An opening there on that first down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
You got nothing to run. You got nothing.
2nd and 2. He's got this complete to Hamilton. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 17-yard line.
A gain of 15. First down, Broncos.
Hey, watch it.
They'll run on first down. It's Freeman. And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Exit.
Freeman again. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
They'll run here with Freeman. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And it'll be 2nd and goal.
At the Steelers' 9-yard line.
Watch the run.
Looking to throw. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Ryan Shazier got in that time, the first-round pick of 2014. 3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. He'll look to throw. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. The kick by McManus is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you'll see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Oh, design run for their wideout. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the 4th.
Yeah, what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the first down, that's extra time, extra plays. Really hurts the team on defense.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On the draw, Connor. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Second and 12 at the 42-yard line.
Here we go, here we go. 10-2 stop.
Cut, cut, cut.
Here we go on second and 12. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 27-yard line. Well, clear running situation. Try to take time off the clock. You ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they'd shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
Come get some. He don't want it.
Get it.
On first down, Connor. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Ready,
The
ready.
last run got a couple. Here's second and 8.
Man left, man left. 3 down, 3 down.
Let go.
Again, it's Connor. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
3 down, 3 down. Hey, check, check. 3 down, 3 down.
Go, go. Now.
Back to throw. And he finds McDonald. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
They'll run here with Connor. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 5 yards, a good run there, and now second and goal.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They're going to look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
The Steelers on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is third and goal.
Look at me. Zipper.
Me. I got this. Mike,
Ready, ready.
They'll drop the throw. Escaping the pressure right. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line. Oh, and after the sack, he's still down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Boswell's kick is good. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is fielded at the goal line. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
Looking for the big chunk.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Ryan and Shazier. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's the guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Again, a runward counter. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. From the gun, they run with Smallwood. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. He gets a good chunk of yards there, 8 all told, but they're still looking at a 4th down. And Boswell's kick is good. And that lead will move from 20 up now to 23. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do.
Dashing through the snow. All told, it's an even 30 and a 1st down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it 2nd and goal.
At the 11-yard line.
Let's go now. 18 Gator.
I got him.
Get it.
Again, it'll be counter. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let him know right away I'm throwing it, but I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off and run for it.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
On the set.
47's the mic.
Watch the backer, watch the backer.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this was about as close to a shutout as you could get. I mean, barring a game where you only allow a safety, but this was the next best thing, just the field goal. That's all they gave up.
Yeah, and you know something, they're going to be disappointed because they gave up the field goal. But deep inside, somewhat satisfied as well, because you know how hard it is to keep people from scoring in this league. And the idea that you just gave up 3, yeah, your coaches will get on you. They'll say, we should have had the shutout. But they also will be pretty satisfied with that type of a performance.
So for Pittsburgh, they're not going to go quietly here as the win moves them now to 8-6 on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, the season is really nosediving now as they fall to 2-12. And they'll be off to Oakland next week for a date with the Raiders. That'll do it for us.
Y'all already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did.
Playing skills.
Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, I get the money but I never switch. They saying you switch 'cause you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating 'cause I told the wrist. Why bet you wanna be famous, They act like they made us, You know I'm icy in Vegas, This for them that haters, I make a lot of new money, When the not savers, You be liking my flavor, I think it's cause ice on the wrist, on the wrist, on the wrist. Watch out, I never switch, you never switch. I never switch, I never switch. Ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist,
I was legit. Ever since I blew, they all on my hey, back then, didn't know I exist. Don't touch my cup, you know how I sip. Hey, got your long, I made her when I showed out my whip. Hey, spent about 10 on my fit. Ex-slick, then hit with the back then, used to out the zip. Blow out his back, then dip. Got a whole party all on the ship. All these 4 things, pull out the VIP. Suck, turn up, baby, pour out the milk. So you know how I drip.
gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play me, no conversation. Ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bread until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. I'ma tell the risk I was never at the hit. I would never get it off my chest though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Take your eyes off me, you don't want to see me when I'm gone. Moral of the story was you're wrong. Everything I gave and everything I lost. Good things come at a cost. I left it on your head, and when you ever overstay it, your thoughts are never everything you wanted when you want. I'ma take it in the head with the signs of the distort. I'ma leave it on the side. You on the Christ when the breath on this set. Let me speak on behalf of the dead. I'ma leave, I'ma speak. I'm sick in the head. Come on, come on.